there, lovely humans. I come to you today with a new video, and it is my March wrap-up and April TBR. It is the last month of March, so it's only right that I do this. I'm a bit late because people have already posted theirs 2 days ago, but whatever. In the month of March, I read only 3 books just because I was in a real reading slump, and I wasn't really up for reading any books. I did start reading Jeffrey Deaver's XO, which is kind of like a psychological crime book, and I went kind of halfway through it and then stopped because my sister needed the book. So basically I read 3.5 books, or 3.25, yeah. But let's just get into this video and let me show you the books that I read this month. The first book that I read this month is Dark Souls by Paula Moore. I don't have a physical copy with me because I lent it out to a friend to read. About this book, it's about ghosts and anything paranormal like that, and it has a lot of historical aspects infused in it, so I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It follows the story of Miranda Tennant as she goes to York, England on a vacation kind of thing, like a getaway with her family after a car crash that she was involved in with her brother, which killed her friend Jenna. After that car crash happens, she sees Jenna's soul or spirit kind of come towards her, touch her. I think she touches her and go away. Don't worry, that's not a spoiler, that's just the beginning of the book. Paul Moore just kind of tells you that head on. I really enjoyed the book. It was, I took a week to read it just because I was kind of, like I said, I was in a reading slump. I was kind of lazy to kind of get into the book, but once you're in, it is so good. And because of that book, now I want to read this other book. What is it? Which is Comics by Milton, or Milton Comics, I'm not sure, but I went on Goodreads. I already marked it as to read, and thanks to this book, Dark Souls, I now want to read this book. It has everything to do with history. It has quotes from it. She even speaks about King Henry VIII and his wife, tales and things that have happened in York, and the way she describes the town is absolutely beautiful. The kind of town that I would definitely want to visit. I've never heard of York before until I read this book, and really it's on my list of places that I want to go to. I really enjoyed this book. I definitely recommend this book to anyone who's up for kind of a middle grade book that deals with ghosts and history. It's not too scary. Some parts did kind of creep me out. I think only 1 or 2 parts. Besides that, it's not even scary at all. If anything, it's just interesting. And if you're someone that's really soft and things like that, then you definitely shouldn't read this. The next book that I read was Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, which is book 1 in the Infernal Devices trilogy, and everyone knows about this book. But it follows Tessa Gray as she gets summoned to London by her brother as he sends her a letter. But she later learns that her brother didn't write that letter, it was kind of forged, and she gets kidnapped by the Dark Sisters who train her to kind of unveil this power that she has, which is shape-shifting, which she didn't know that she had. And yeah, and it has shadow hunters and warlocks, stuff like that, vampires. It's the prequel to the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. I don't really like the Mortal Instruments series, which is why I'm not up for reading City of Fallen Angels. I started City of Glass, and I don't know, I'm probably going to read it because I have City of Fallen Angels in my TBR list, but I don't know, I'm not going to be picking it up anytime soon, but I definitely want to read Clockwork Prince, which is book 2, and Clockwork Princess. Next book that I read was The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This was the last book that I read this month, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I liked it, but I didn't love it. There was just something about it that was kind of pulling me back from loving it, but I guess since it's the first book, maybe. But the thing about me is when starting series, the first books are what I usually love the most, because that's the beginning of everything, and that's when you're kind of learning of stuff. So I don't know how to describe it. I don't really like getting into the middle of the series or the ending of it. It's usually the beginning and ending of a series that I like. I don't really like the in-between part. I didn't love this as much as everyone else did, but I really liked it just because of the way Suzanne Collins writes. The way she describes things, it's so gory and it's so raw, and she just lets it out. But yeah, that's what I really liked. And this was told from the point of view of Katniss, which I didn't know. I thought it was told from the author's point of view, so But yeah, I really liked it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Everyone has read this. I'm not going to be picking up Catching Fire anytime soon just because I'm a little bit bored of the story and I kind of know what's going to happen in Catching Fire since I watched the movie. The only reason why I'm starting the Hunger Games series now is because Mockingjay isn't out yet and I really want to read Mockingjay before I watch it. Those are all the books that I read in March, and now on to my April TBR. I've really been wanting to read a book that is gonna kind of make me have like an existential crisis just because I actually enjoy having that, like a thought-provoking book, a book that makes you lie down and you really kind of reevaluate your life and think of things, and it kind of inspires you or changes the way you view life. Like, I mean, that's kind of extreme to say, but to me, books that have kind of changed my life or the way I look at life have to be definitely Looking for Alaska by John Green, Paper Towns by John Green. What else? I can't remember anymore, but one of my ultimate favorite books is Looking for Alaska by John Green. That book is just... So yeah, I've been wanting a book like that, but something that's just thought-provoking. So the first book that I'm going to be reading in the month of April is Mothers and Sons by Carl Toibin. I bought this at a garage sale secondhand for like only like 5 ringgit or 2 ringgit. It was really cheap and it's a hardcover. This looks like this. Yeah, just like that. This is how the cover looks. Let me just read to you what this book is about. I have to feel I'm going to really enjoy it, which is why it's the first book that I'm going to start reading. I haven't even read a page yet. Mothers and Sons is a sensitive and beautifully written meditation on the dramas surrounding this most elemental of relationships. Each of the 9 stories focuses on a moment in which an unspoken balance shifts. A son buries his mother and goes out to a drug-fueled rave on a remote beach near Dublin. In the course of this one night, his grief and desire for raw feeling combined with exquisite intensity. A mother sings about treacherous love to a rapt crowd of musicians in a local pub. Her unacknowledged son meets her eyes, unable to approach her. And in a long winter, Carl Toibin's finest piece of fiction to date, a son goes searching for his mother in the snow-covered Pyrenees. I feel like it's going to be a really sad book. I mean, since it has 9 different stories, some might have a happy ending, some might not have a happy ending at all, some might not even have an ending, you know? I kind of like books like that, so I'm really excited for this book. I need to clean it, bro. It's kind of dirty. The next book that I'm going to be reading after reading Mothers and Sons is going to be Half Bad by Sally Green. This is a book that kind of went around on BookTube that people were really excited about, but it kind of died down. So the book that kind of took its place is Panic by Lauren Oliver. But I'm not really excited to read Panic. I didn't even buy it, but Half Bad. I love the cover and the back. You see it's like his face by the blood. That is like so cool. I didn't even know that until I was buying the book and I was like, whoa. And you know, and the story focuses on Nathan, who is a half bad witch and half good witch, which are, they're called the black witches and the white witches. Yeah, get it? Black, white, half bad. I didn't get it until right now. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into this book. Apparently, because he is half bad, they kind of keep him confined in a cage and stuff and treat him badly. And it's told from his point of view. I'm really excited for this. Next book I'm going to be reading is Blood Red Road by Maura Young. Yeah. These are my favorite type of books when they are like this. You know, they have this open flap thing. They're really good. But because it was like, it has been there for such a long time. This is how the cover looks. Like, do you see this part? It is so bad. But I tried my best. I really tried my best in trying to save this, but I still like it. It's my book. Yeah, this story follows Saba as her brother has been stolen, kidnapped, and she's going through the desert plains trying to find him, and she can't trust absolutely no one. She comes across a boy there or a guy. I don't really know much about it. All I know is that she's going to look for her brother. It's a YA dystopian. I think it's Maura Young's first book. Yeah, Blood Red Road was her first book. It's now part of a trilogy. The next one's called Dustlands, and I think the other one is Rebel Heart. Yeah, there's 3 parts in the series. I got the first one. But the last book is Origin by Jessica Curry. I've already spoken about this book in my last video. This one is about a girl called Pia who is scientifically named in the jungle by scientists, and she's been confined there her whole life. She doesn't know what's outside of those walls until one day she escapes into the jungle trying to find her way out. You know, another YA dystopian. She meets a boy along the way who helps her. Probably they fall in love, which is a definite yes. I'm about 80% sure that will happen. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I just realized that wasn't my last book. The last book that I want to read, Sailing to Serenity by Guy Gabriel Kay, which is the first book in the Serenity Mosaic duology. I also spoke about this in my last video already. It follows Artisan Case Crispus. Oh my god, this name is so weird, but it's nice. As he gets summoned by the Emperor to come to Serentium. And the only reason why I really bought it, of course, the cover and the way it was described. It's a fantasy, and it's described as Serentium is the golden sea, holy so faithful, exalted by the poets, jewel of the world, and heart of an empire. And it's like 600 pages, well, over 500 pages. Hopefully I'll be able to get through all of these books and this too. Hopefully 5 or 6 books this month. Because I'm not really much in a reading slump now. Maybe I'll even read more books. I want to challenge myself to read 7 books a month. Because I want to challenge myself to read like 7 books a month because I've never done that before. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to these books. That's all I have for you guys today. So until my next video, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Bye!